Here we are, less than 24 hours out from UFC Fight Night Saudi Arabia, Israel Adesanya vs Nasruddin Imavov. And today I'm going to break down the card, making my picks with who I think wins and how. We're starting with the prelims, moving on to the main card, and finishing with the main event. First off, we have Hamdi Abdel-Wahab vs Jamal Pogues, fighting in the Gyno weight division, also known as the heavyweight division. Both these guys are early on in their UFC careers, with Pogues coming into this for his fourth fight tonight, and Hamdi on his second fight in the UFC. These guys, they're absolute opposites in their approach to the fight. In 4 of his last 6 fights, Hamdi's won via first round KO, so the man goes for it early. In his first fight, however, in the UFC against Dontel Mays, he went the full 3 rounds and won. It was later overturned to a no contest due to popping on a PEDS test. And I think he popped twice, and he also got caught tampering with a test. He faced a 2-year layoff for that. Look, previously he has shown the ability to go the distance. He's got some solid grappling, good striking, good power. But look, he's a PED cheat, so is what it is. We don't know what version of him we're going to see return. Pogues, on the other hand, look, he's won or lost by decision in 5 of his last 6 fights, with 4 wins via UD and 1 loss via UD. Also has a loss via submission, so he's a decision machine, Pogues. Look, we're not going to spend too much time on this. It's the first fight of the card. It's really hard to know what version of Hamdi we're going to get. If he's as good as he was before he popped, which, he shouldn't be, I'm going to go Hamdi, but, he's popped for PED. He had a 2-year layoff. He shouldn't be as good. He's probably going to be a shell of himself. Still be probably alright, but he won't have the same pop, speed, power, timing, all that shit. So I'm going to go pick Jamal Pogues winning via UD. Maybe TKO, but I'll go UD. Moving on, it's Bogdan Grad versus Lucas Alexander in the featherweight division. Bogdan's making his UFC debut. He's 14-2 so far in his career. Seems to have a well-rounded game with a few subs in his record. A lot of the KOs and TKOs. Varied methods of KOs and TKOs from Bogdan. He's got punches, flying knees, spin and wheel kicks, so he can mix it up. He's up against Lucas Alexander, who's 8-4 so far in his career. He's had 3 fights in the UFC, going 1-2 with 1 loss via submission. In his most recent fight, he had a loss via KO. Both losses were inside the first round. Also, looking at his whole career so far, he's got a couple more losses by submission, so it's an area that Bogdan might be able to exploit. He had some submission wins on his record as well, old Bogdan. So I'm going to pick Bogdan winning this one via submission in the second round. I think Bogdan's going to be getting the upper hand on the feet, land something, maybe a wheel kick that rocks Alexander. He's going to get him to the ground and get the submission. Up next, it's our first toilet break of the card. Look, if I'm being honest, it's a little early, but we've got to take what we can get. So, moving on, after the break, we have Terrence the Gap McKinney versus Damir the Goblin Hadjovic, fighting at lightweight. Terrence McKinney, he was once a rising prospect in the lightweight division. He had a good following. He was picking up some steam early on in his career, but that hype train is firmly derailed and doesn't look like it's going to be getting back on track anytime soon. The dude's 30, and the only gap as large as his skills compared to the top of the division is the gap between his teeth, and both don't appear to be getting any smaller, so it's unlucky for Terrence. But don't get it twisted. McKinney's not a bum. He has some skills on the feet. If you know who Drew Dober is, he was piecing up Dober and almost KO'd him before getting KO'd himself. But can't fully blame McKinney for that. As we know, Dober's just that guy. If it was 1942, he'd be the Fuhrer's favourite fighter. Not just because he looks like a dude from an SS propaganda poster, but he's got a knack for beating up folks of a certain dark shade. Fuck. Sorry. Alright. Enough of that. On with the picks. Look, Damir is just a little goblin troll looking thing. If you're strolling through medieval Europe, this dude would be waiting for you under a bridge somewhere so he can charge you a toll. Look at this fucking dude, bro. Oh, an old fucking buck gap teeth McKinney over here. My god. Whew. Okay. Seriously though, Damir has lost 3 of his last 4 fights and hasn't fought since 2022. McKinney, on the other hand, has fought 6 times. Alright, serious now. McKinney has fought 6 times since the Goblin's last fight He's going 50-50, winning 3 and losing 3, coming off a head kick KO in his most recent loss. Looking at the two, I've got to go with the more active younger fighter in Terence McKinney. He'll win by first round KO, I think. Demir's 38 years old and hasn't fought in 3 years. If McKinney loses this one, look, there's no hope for his career. He's done, and I wouldn't be surprised if UFC cut him. Alright, on to... oh, fuck, look at these two. Shamil Gaziev versus Thomas Peterson in the heavyweight division. I can't pretend to be interested in this fight. These are two typical heavyweight blobs. Neither will ever fight for a title or even come close. In fact, I'm shocked that Gaziev is even fucking ranked. The dude has 3 fights in the UFC. He's on a 1-fight win streak over Dontel Mays. Like, that shows you how dog shit the blobweight division is outside the top 5. Excuse my dog. Fucking bastard. You can be sure this is going to be the least technical fight on the card, even including the women's fight. But hey, at least we've got a good chance of a KO in here. I'm going to go Shamil Gaziev winning by TKO, punches in the 3rd round. And yeah, we're going to move on. Up next, we have the featherweight bout of Muhammad Naimov versus Khan Offley, fighting in the featherweight division. Look, Khan's an Aussie, but he's a fake Aussie. He doesn't rep our flag when he fights, so, you know, kind of fuck him. Yeah. Look, he's also just not good. He's way too easy to hit. If you have any sort of power and skill, you know, accuracy on the feet, and which if you're in the UFC at 145, you should have, you're probably going to beat this guy. Khan does have some power. He can hit you, but look, he's got fuck all head movement. His defense is pretty shitty. He's a bit of a brawler. Like, Naimov should just pick him apart, man. If he manages to get you to the ground, though, you might have some problems. He's got some solid submissions on his record. Got a solid ground game. But, you know, Naimov's a guy with a lot of TKOs on his record as well. He did lose his most recent fight via submission, though. I'm going to go with... if it stays on the feet, I'm going with Naimov, which I think it will stay on the feet. So, I think Naimov wins via TKO. I'm not going to pick a round for that. Could be an early one, though. Alright, we move on to the main card. And first up, we have Fares Siem versus Mike Davis, fighting at lightweight. This is great matchmaking by the UFC and Hunter Campbell, I think. Both guys riding 4-fight win streaks against some solid competition. Fares arguably having the tougher opponents and better wins. Also the younger man coming at 27 years old. Mike Davis sitting at 32. Look, as typical with 145ers, both well-rounded fighters, neither particularly powerful or known for their finishes. I think we get a nice high-level scrap ending with Fares winning via UD in a close one. Mike Davis probably takes a round somewhere in there. Yeah, that's all we're gonna do for that one. We'll move on. Up the card we have Said Nurmagomedov versus Vinicius Oliveira. Fuck pronouncing that name, bro. Vinicius. Oh, better be careful with that one. Let's call him Vin Oliveira. Oh, Oliveira. Fuck me. Alright. So, look. This is fighting at bantamweight, so you know there's a good chance these guys are going to be animals. Bantamweight's generally fucking incredible speed, great technical striking, well-rounded games, great grappling, submissions. They've usually got it all. They're two exciting fighters, both very capable on the feet. Said's been in the UFC quite a while now, got some good wins, got some losses. Vin, on the other hand, is only his 3rd UFC fight. The gap in experience is pretty immense, but the gap in skill nowhere near as big. We'll have to wait and see. Both definitely have some impressive dynamic striking, and of course Said has that typical Dagi Sambo grappling. I think Said's going to be overall the better fighter. I think they both have their moments on the feet. Said eventually gets Oliveira to the ground and wins via guillotine, maybe mid-second round. Into the feature fight of the card, we have Sergey Pavlovich up against Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Or should I say, Sergey Pavlovich the Polar Bear versus Jairzinho the Malteser Rozenstruik, fighting in the heavyweight division. Look, these are two heavyweights that actually have some skill and deserve respect. Both ranked in the top 10. Jairzinho has an extensive kickboxing career and some solid wins on his resume. Look, he's beat guys like Overeem, he was still good until he retired. Tai Tuivasa, Shamil Gaziev, and Chris Dawkins. Nothing special, but some solid wins in there. He's coming off the back of a 2-fight win streak, having recently beat Gaziev via TKO, making him quit, and a split decision over Tuivasa. But let's be real, man. He's no match for Pavlovich, even though Pavlovich is coming off back-to-back losses against Big Tommy Aspinall and Drago, or fucking Andrei Volkov, whatever you want to call him. He's still a killer with immense power in both hands. He's got a hard fucking chin to crack unless you're Tom Aspinall, and he's got some speed too. So, look, I think, Jairzinho can pitter-pat him all he fucking wants. I think Sergey's, he's ran through Derek Lewis, Tai Tuivasa, and Curtis Blades, all within less than a total of 5 minutes fight time. 3 dudes in less than 5 minutes combined. I fully expect the same against Jairzinho. I can't see a way Pavlovich loses. I don't think Rosenstrike can hurt him, man. I think it's going to be arguably Ngannou style, if you remember that. Ngannou just fucking charged him, ran at this man. He's fucking throwing, pushing him back into the fence and sleeping him like he's fucking bum rushed him, man. There's no chance. If Pavlovich comes into that with, his killer mindset going for the finish and has the belief in himself, which, he may not have coming off 2 losses, but I think he's an animal. I think he's built different to most of these guys. He's got the size, got the power. I think he's going to know he can KO Rosenstrike, and he's going to take him out early, man. It's going to be quick. I'm going Pavlovich to win first round TKO within the first 2 minutes. Alright, up the card. We're on to the co-main event. We've got Shara Bullet versus MVP Michael Venom Page fighting in the middleweight division. Once again, a fight I'm really looking forward to. Both guys are known strikers. Shara Bullet has 12 carries out of his 15 wins. He's got a 15-0 record, which is pretty impressive. MVP, well, look, if you don't know, you fucking should. This guy's been around a long time. He's elite. He's the epitome of speed. There isn't a faster fighter in the division. It's not even close, man. He fought fucking, what's his name, Ian Cuckold Gary. He's, was one of the fastest fighters, if not the fastest in the division beforehand. Wonder Boy in there too, some other dudes, but it ain't even close. MVP fucking has it all over him. Not only is MVP incredibly quick, but he's also very long, and he's got every tool in the kit when it comes to striking. He can hit you with anything, anytime. He's got great timing. He's very hard to hit. He's a hard puzzle to deal with on the feet, man. However, he doesn't have the greatest chin. If you can get in and land hard on him, you can KO him. Look, Shara Bullet, he can be unpredictable. Coming off that fucking double spin and back fist KO. He's also got some power. If he can mend a solid connection, might be able to KO MVP. But honestly, I think Shara Bullet's striking is overrated. Don't get me wrong, it's good. It is good. But I don't think it's anywhere near as good as people are hyping him up to be. Sure, the double spin and back fist KO was impressive. So is his record, but they went against the highest level of competition, let's just be real. Not to mention he struggled at times versus Michael, what the fuck, one of those Polish last names, Aleksiushi. Let's go Michael Alexei. Getting dropped once and landed on quite a bit during that fight, so, he won, but he didn't look like a world beater in that fight, and, Mike fucking Alexei, he's alright, he's nothing that special, so you would expect him to look better if he was, on MVP's level. It's a big test for Shara. He's young, he's hungry, he's probably got the confidence, but I think he's going to get found out. I've got MVP winning, maybe late second round TKO. I think a relatively easy fight for MVPs. He's going to be too fucking quick, man. Shara's not going to know what's hit him. He's going to get found out real bad. So the Dargies aren't going to be happy with that one. He doesn't have that Dargie grappling too like the others. He's a bit different. Alright, on to the main event. We have, well, definitely not the least important one on the card, even though it's last. It's the main event of the evening. Israel Adesanya versus Nasruddin Imavov. They're fighting in the middleweight division. 2 fighters at very different points in their careers. Izzy being already cemented as one of the greatest middleweights of all time, if not the greatest, and considered by some as one of the greatest, if not greatest strikers in UFC history. Look, It's not the easiest fight for Izzy. He's come off the back of, back-to-back losses and having lost 3 of his last 4 fights. Imavov is coming off a 3-fight win streak with wins over Jared Cannonier, Roman Dolidze and Brendan Allen. Imavov actually managed a TKO win over Cannonier, which is pretty impressive. He's also beat Joaquin Buckley relatively recently, and to this point in his career so far has only lost by decision. Even though Izzy's coming off some losses, make no mistake, he showed up and looked good in all his fights recently. He got done by submission by fucking Big Dickus Drickus. It happens. He looks like a drunk, but he can fight, man. It doesn't matter how ugly it looks. If it's fucking stupid but it works, it's not stupid. And Drickus' fight style, it works. He's beat Rob Whittaker, he's beat fucking Sean Strickland, he's beat Israel Adesanya. He's a hard man to fight. No shame in losing there. Lost to Poatan, fucking man. The only guy Poatan doesn't beat is, well, no one. He's beat everyone so far. Sure, he's lost to Izzy once, but he's also fucking knocked him out cold. So, unlucky one there. Can't fucking knock him for that loss. Is what it is. And then he's got the loss to Strickland, which styles make fights. Tough matchup. A lot of people weren't expecting it, but still he's a top quality dude, so there's nothing wrong with that. He's still a serious threat to anyone. The question is though, does he have the will and the hunger that he once did? That you're gonna have to kill me to fucking beat me attitude that he had against Gastelum. It's not, and if he doesn't, it's not really, it's hard to do, man. He's been at the top for a long time. He ain't that up-and-comer, hungry young lion anymore. He's an experienced veteran. He's still fucking deadly, though. Don't get it wrong. Look, it doesn't always come down to who's better, though. If they're relatively close in competition, it can come down to who wants it more, which I think it might. Look, I can see other men winning this, of course. Imavov is no joke on the feet. This won't be a one-sided beating, but I think Izzy will win via UD or a late TKO, maybe in the 4th or 5th round, if we see the Izzy we've been seeing. But, yeah, I'm going to stick with that. So, look, that's it. That's my preview and picks for the card. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and like the video and subscribe. It helps me keep the content coming. Really appreciate it. But anyway, cheers lads. Have a good one. See you next time.